There comes a moment in every life when silence grows heavier than noise, when the excuses grow stale and the mirror begins to ask questions the world never dares to. Who are you when the lights are off? Who are you when no one's watching? When the bed is warm and the alarm cuts through the stillness like a blade through fog? That moment, that unremarkable second where you choose to rise or roll over it, is no less than the battlefield where greatness is won or forever lost. Discipline isn't a routine. It's not a to-do list or a morning journal. It is a declaration, a war cry, a sacred contract between the man or woman you are and the destiny that demands more than comfort and convenience. You don't stumble into greatness. You forge it hour by hour, decision by decision, in the furnace of repetition. You think Carnegie waited until he felt like leading steel into an empire? Think Ford asked the world if it was ready before he disrupted it? Do you believe Lincoln walked into the White House carrying a guarantee of victory? Number. What they carried was something more powerful than promise. They carried relentless discipline. A rhythm that echoed louder than doubt, stronger than fear, and longer than any applause. Because the world will forget what you say. It may forget what you built, but it will never forget the echo of a disciplined soul, a man or woman who refused to betray their potential. The alarm rings, and in that instant, you're not just waking up, you're answering a call. You're stepping into the command center of your life. You are no longer reacting. You are declaring, because you don't just start the day, you command it. And to command your day, you must first command your mind. The undisciplined mind is a battlefield of distractions, a playground for fear. It feeds on notifications and novelty, addicted to dopamine, allergic to direction. It drifts, it delays, it dies slowly in mediocrity. But a disciplined mind? That is a blade, sharp, clean, focused. It cuts through noise. It ignores permission. It does not ask the world what it thinks of its dreams. It tells the world what it intends to do. To command your life is to rewire the circuitry of thought, to install belief where doubt used to live. You must remind yourself daily, hourly, sometimes minute by minute, that belief is not a luxury. It is your foundation. No man ever achieved the impossible who didn't first believe he had the right to try. Edison believed in the light before the world could see it. Disney saw a kingdom in a swamp. They were not delusional. They were disciplined enough to believe longer than the world doubted. And belief is a muscle. You train it through repetition, through the unglamorous, through the work no one sees. The secret to belief? You don't need proof to start. You need action. Action builds evidence. Evidence builds belief. And belief builds momentum. Clarity is your compass. Without it, all action is wasted motion. You must ask yourself not what do I want today, but who must I become to live the life that calls to me. You're not chasing goals. You're sculpting identity. Discipline is the chisel. Vision is the blueprint. And your habits, they are the blows of the hammer. It's not enough to dream. Dreams are fragile without discipline. Vision without structure is just hallucination. Every day, you must revisit your mission, not with desperation, but with devotion. Speak it aloud. Write it down. Feel it in your bones. Because a blurred vision leads to a blurred life. You cannot conquer what you have not clearly imagined. The world steps aside for the man who knows where he's going, but it devours those who wander. And when the path grows foggy, when the outcomes go silent, when the applause dies down, that is when purpose steps in. Purpose is not passion. It is deeper. It is not about doing what you love. It is about becoming someone who is worthy of what they desire. Discipline turns pain into power, and purpose turns repetition into reverence. The man who shows up when it's hard is a worker, but the man who shows up when it's meaningless, he is on a mission. Purpose is the fire that does not flicker when the winds change. And here's the truth most won't tell you. You will not always feel motivated. You will not always be inspired, but you must always be disciplined. Because motivation is a wave. Discipline is the ocean. Discipline is brushing your teeth when no one will smell your breath. It's showing up to the gym when no one's watching. It's writing the page that might get deleted. It's studying the details when everyone else has tuned out. Discipline is when you act not for validation, but out of devotion to the person you are becoming. The enemy is not fatigue, it's not failure, it's friction. The voice that whispers, not today. The little bargain that says, just this once. That voice, it's a thief. And every time you listen, it robs your future of its full potential. But every time you overrule it, you don't just win a battle. You rewrite your identity. You stop seeing yourself as the one who struggles. And you begin to remember who you truly are, a commander, not a captive. Your habits are soldiers. They follow the orders of your dominant identity. So choose wisely, because the strongest structure in the world begins with a single brick. Lay it every day, without negotiation, without celebration, without hesitation, because every action either builds your empire or burns it. And action is not always glamorous. Success is not found in grand gestures, but in consistent obedience to your mission. That's why most never find it. They seek excitement, not elevation. But you are here for the mountain, not the moment. You are here for the life, not the like. You must fall in love with the dull, with the repetition, with the silence, because that's where transformation lives, in the moments when nothing is changing on the surface, but everything is shifting within you. That is where kings are crowned, in obscurity, and if you stay the course long enough, consistent enough, fierce enough, the world has no choice but to notice. The world bends to the will of the disciplined. And when the world finally turns its head to look, when the crowd begins to clap, when your name finds its way into the mouths of strangers, it won't be the applause that moves you. It'll be the memory. The memory of all the mornings when the sun hadn't yet risen, but you did. The memory of the nights when sleep whispered comfort, but you chose commitment. It'll be the echo of every silent victory, every battle fought in private, every tear wiped away in solitude, knowing you had no one to impress, only someone to become. That's the paradox of discipline. It asks everything of you before giving anything back. It demands that you pour effort into a cup that appears empty, over and over, until one day you realize it was never empty. It was simply waiting for you to deserve the overflow. And that overflow? That's momentum. The invisible current that begins to work with you once you've proven you won't quit. When your identity and your actions are finally in alignment, when the voice in your head stops negotiating and starts obeying, when the things that used to feel impossible become inevitable. But momentum has a condition: respect. It only stays with those who protect it, because the moment you grow casual, the moment you rest on yesterday's grind, it slips. You do not own momentum, you earn it daily. Discipline is not a finish line. It's a relationship. And just like any relationship, it requires renewal. You wake up and recommit. Not just when it's hard, but especially when it's hard. That's when you prove your love for the life you say you want. And the truth is, discipline is not a punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect. It is telling your future self, I will not abandon you. It's choosing pain now over regret forever. It's understanding that every sacrifice today is a seed planted for a harvest you may not see tomorrow, but will reap if you stay the course. And when that course gets rough, and it will, when the terrain turns uphill and your legs start to tremble, that's when you find your next superpower: resilience. Not the kind born from brute force, but the kind crafted in the quiet, forged in every time you failed and stood back up. Thomas Edison didn't fail 1,000 times. He discovered 1,000 ways not to quit. Lincoln lost elections before he won the soul of a nation. These men didn't succeed in spite of failure. They succeeded through it. They were disciplined enough to keep walking when others sat down. That is resilience, the discipline to continue when every part of you screams retreat. And retreat, for most, comes in disguise. It comes dressed as comfort, as convenience, as compromise. The little voice that says you've done enough. The quiet lie that says you deserve a break. But discipline sees through the disguise. It says rest is earned, not owed. And if I haven't earned it, I keep going. Because what are you building if not a life that demands your best? What's the alternative? A life of soft regret? A monument of dreams half built? or worse, dreams handed over to the hands of others who were simply more consistent. You see, discipline isn't about talent. It's not about how smart you are, how rich you are, how connected you are. It's about how serious you are. And seriousness doesn't mean stress, it means sacredness. It means treating your time like the gold it is. It means no longer gambling with your energy. It means cutting the noise, eliminating the distractions, and choosing the hard right over the easy wrong 1,000 times if you must. But you don't do this alone. Because when you start walking in discipline, you awaken something bigger. You become magnetic. You begin to attract others who live by the same code. And suddenly, you're no longer just one disciplined person. You are part of a current, a force, a movement, a new standard. The world changes not when laws are passed, but when individuals rise. When men and women decide that their mornings, their hours, their days are sacred. That their lives are not to be lived by default, but by design. That is how you command your day. That is how you conquer your life. And then comes the most powerful element of all gratitude. Not the soft, whispered kind, but the fierce, disciplined gratitude of a warrior who has earned his place in the storm. Because true gratitude isn't passive. It doesn't wait for good to appear. It creates good by declaring, I will not waste this breath. I will not insult this life by living beneath what I'm capable of. Gratitude is discipline with perspective. It's the anchor that keeps you from drifting. It reminds you that while your goals matter, your growth matters more. That every moment, no matter how mundane, is another brick in the temple of your becoming. And when life hits you, because it will, when the plans crumble, when betrayal strikes, when uncertainty knocks the wind out of your chest, discipline will not abandon you. In fact, it is in those moments that discipline shows its truest form, not as punishment, not as pressure, but as protection. The shield that says, I will stand my ground because I know who I am. Let others chase shortcuts. Let them chase dopamine, comfort, hacks, and hacks for the hacks. You will chase the edge, the one that's not visible, the one earned in the dark, the one made of sweat, silence, and unshakable self-respect. You won't need motivation when you have conviction. You won't need willpower when you have identity. You won't need luck when you've mastered the laws of cause and effect. Because when discipline becomes your default, success becomes your byproduct. And then there will be a shift. Quiet at first, almost imperceptible. A morning where the alarm rings and your feet hit the ground, not in resistance, but in readiness. A decision made without internal debate. A task done without the need for reward. The noise fades, the cravings fall away. The world slows down not because it changed, but because you did. You have become what most only dream of, a person who can trust themselves. Do you understand the power in that? To trust your own word. To know that what you say you will do no external force needed. That is the rarest form of freedom. That is self-mastery. That is the silent confidence that radiates without having to announce itself. Because let me tell you something they won't say in the highlight reels. The person with discipline does not need to hustle harder. They need to surrender deeper, not to the world, but to the mission, to the system, to the rhythm of growth they've committed to. And in that surrender, they find peace that chaos can't touch. It's not the loudest one who wins. It's the one who shows up when no one claps, walks forward when no one cheers, and finishes when no one's keeping score. Discipline isn't a shout. It's a whisper that never stops speaking. And in this silence, you'll uncover something more profound than progress. You'll find identity. Because when you practice discipline long enough, you no longer try to be consistent, you simply are. It's no longer something you do. It's who you are. You don't try to win the morning, you own it. You don't negotiate with the hard things, you lean into them. You don't fear pain, you befriend it, knowing it is the toll you gladly pay for a life earned, not handed. The world teaches you to seek ease. Discipline teaches you to earn ease through mastery. And mastery? That's what happens when effort and identity align. It's when your actions are no longer external struggles, but internal truths. Look at the legends. Jobs, Mandela, Kobe, Musk. Different fields, different times, Same pattern, ruthless discipline. They didn't succeed because they were special. They succeeded because they stayed when others left. They endured where others escaped. They took command not just of their work, but of their days. And by doing so, they took command of history. So ask yourself, are you waiting for the world to recognize your potential? Or are you ready to discipline yourself into a reality no one can ignore? Because here's the truth. You must tattoo onto your soul. Discipline delays applause, but it guarantees arrival. It doesn't beg for attention, it builds a life that demands it. It doesn't chase motivation, it creates momentum. It doesn't fear struggle, it feeds on it. And when others look at you and call it obsession, when they laugh at your routines, your early mornings, your ruthless calendar, let them. Let them stay in the cycle of almost. Let them talk while you build. Let them doubt while you do. Because you are not chasing validation. You are becoming undeniable. And the more disciplined you become, the less permission you need. You don't follow trends. You set them. You don't seek alignment. You become the alignment. You don't ask for power. You command it because you earned it. And that's the word we must return to. Again and again, earn. In a world addicted to fast, fake, and filtered, be the one who earns their peace, earns their wisdom, earns their wealth, earns their strength, earns their influence, and most importantly, earns their own respect. That's the final threshold. The moment where discipline becomes destiny. You no longer chase greatness. You embody it. You breathe it. You walk with it, not as a goal, but as a natural result of the choices you've made. Every single day. And that's how it ends, not with a dramatic climax, not with fireworks, but with a quiet knowing, a realization that while the world was watching and waiting and wondering, you were building quietly, fiercely, relentlessly. That's how lives are changed. That's how mountains are moved. And that is how legacies are born. Command your day. Conquer your life. Because discipline is not the path. It is the victory.